us as Nigerians, we tend to look at something like, oh boy, this thing, man, no, and then we just walk away versus saying, okay, how do we really bring this down to the, lowest common denominator and begin to chip at it to
Mm.
figure out a way to fix things, right? Um, but there's in building up our children and their character, right? I think there's also something to be said about teaching them to learn in failure, and that's hard to teach, right? But I think it also comes with um, it's a process. It comes with having to walk beside them and saying, "Well, yes, okay, it don't work out. Maybe we should rethink the whole strategy and see how we can come at this a different way." I know for my daughter, it's easy for her to get frustrated if she's trying to figure something out. But you have to come and like, okay, let's think about it. Like you said, like puzzle. Let's think about this a different way, right? The fact that you're not getting it doesn't mean that you can't figure it out, right? It's something you have to work through.
Yeah, it's a process.
And once they overcome that failure, I mean that fear of failure, at that point the sky's the limit, right? I know even in my job today, it's like there's a way I look at something like, you know what, I'm gonna put this off until I can, I get in the right headspace to attack it, right?
Yeah,
Not
okay.
because I can't do it, but it's just more so I know if I attempt to do it without the right mindset, it might not really work out. So, hey, man, with these kids, it's a process, man. We
Yeah,
have to
no,
be in
no,
there
yeah,
with them
yeah.
all the way.
Like you said earlier, man, it all goes back to knowing your kid. Like
Yep.
being home now, I'm starting to really know how they learn, and understand better how they learn. I always knew that my daughter was like a fast learner, but I never knew that she also like wants to do everything quick, 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 and be done, right?
Yep.
And in doing that quick, a lot of times she makes a lot of silly errors and mistakes. Whereas my son is like, he's one of those guys that he wants to take his time to
Methodically.
understand it. And for me, it's as a parent, I have to also you have
Yep.
to you have to pray
Yep.
for God's patience, and not start yelling and get
Yeah.
frustrated. Like, hey, why am I
Yeah.
spending all this money? This school, oh, they chop my money for no reason. Why does my son not? But it's just like I realize that it's not that he's not getting it, but for him, the the connections are a lot. He's
Mm.
very, like careful. Like he's almost doesn't want to make any mistakes, so it takes him
Right.
long to put the things. So I'm like, come on, Whereas my daughter's like, she does fire, 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 fire. So it's like, man,
Yeah.
how trying to balance these two kids, like
Right.
teaching her to slow down and teaching the other one to,
Yeah. Pick up the pace.
All right, as we're rounding up, one key solution that I found here, the first thing is for every parent is first understand your kids. It's like knowing their strengths and weaknesses,
Mm-hmm.
really.
right? So the next one here. So what's the strategy for the electronic device? So how do we regulate that? Or how do we, so what's the strategy in making sure they don't spend so much time on the electronic
Well,
device?
I think it's like the timer thing. I don't know. I don't know if I'm fully sold on setting a time for the thing to shut down, right? Because for me, I rather let it be a choice, right?
yep.
Okay.
Yep.
You need to know this is okay. There's a reward system. You do X, Y, Z, you get to spend X amount on it.
Yep.
But then if you make it like a technological lockdown, for now it seems like almost you're punishing them.
Yeah. But I think for me too, though, we reserve screen time for the weekend, right? So,
During the school is easier.
yeah. But,
Summertime.
so during school, we do the Khan Academies, all the learning stuff, on
Mhm.
the computer and stuff like that. But to truly have fun, the fun things is weekend, right?
So when you say weekend, you mean the whole weekend? There's no time limit over the weekend.
Oh, no, but there's time limit now. But like I said, there's structure, and they get the structure in school. They should be able to get the structure at home, right? It can't be ad hoc, and you have to stick with it. So during the week, yes, we know you need to have some screen time as far as Khan Academy and other learning stuff. That's what we do. There's no play, right?
Wow.
Now the gaming stuff is on the week. But again,
To step up our game.
so again, you have to find what works for your kid. And then on the weekends is when we bring out the iPad and do your game stuff. But I would say this much: as when it comes to games, we're also deliberate. I mean, there's the Mario, Nintendo type stuff, but um, my sister, my daughter is doing this thing where she's learning how to code through gaming, right? So you're also deliberate about what kind of games they are, making sure that it's educational games versus just, I'm not saying you can't have fun and just do, any game that is not cerebral, but you're trying to nurture these kids, right? They're at a time where it's development. So I can't have you spend all your time, doing stuff that doesn't really develop you, right? So if it's something that you learn and develop yourself while being fun, why not? It's a win-win.
Yeah.
But on the weekends, it's like we're a lot less lax, but we tell them, hey, this is where, we have a conversation. How long do you think you'll be spending on this, doing this stuff? And then, we have that conversation. I can always come back and say, okay, maybe you can spend, another 30 minutes as a reward for sticking to what we discussed type stuff. But I know time is of the essence. So I will let you take this away, Musti.
All right, guys. I did very, very grateful, man. I'm sure I go pick up from all of this, and hopefully when I post this stuff, people go feel learn from what we don't discuss here.
Continue to compare notes.
It's really, really good because you never know who's going through what we just discussed now. So I really want to thank you guys for your time today, and
thank you for putting it together.
And we'll continue to rub shoulders. And like I said, I've been taking advantage of Zoom. I've been teaching kids. Like, I don't call them students; I call them clients. So I'm trying to build a large client base. So so all the things why learn. It's funny how you learn every day. I just recently I figured how to do multiplication percentage mentally, which was really, really cool. I say, you see, everybody they learn. People if you don't know them, but anyway, I just want to thank you guys. It's been fun. Thank you for your time. Kelechi in New York, Nonso in Atlanta.
Yeah, we'll go do them again. We're full ground.
Yes, sir.
We're full ground. So
a lot of time.
This was fun.
It was fun, right?
We get time.
We get time. So
it is okay. Oh, now you didn't move your screen.
Yeah, I move my screen. So continue to talk. So they say something.
No, I was just saying no. We have time, so anytime, as long as it's nothing to do with entanglement. I know we will speak.